Well. Good morning. Hello. I am Recie Myers coming to you live this morning, and I'm so glad Roland is here with me.
Good morning, and I'm Roland,
her
husband.
Yes. We are spiritual entrepreneurs, and we bring to you just little tidbits that can help you create an amazing life. There's no reason in the world why all of us can't have amazing lives. And I said that word amazing. You know, if you've ever walked in a cemetery, it sounds kind of deep and gloomy, right? Well, if you walk in a cemetery and you look at the tombstones, there's always two dates. There's a sunrise date, the birth date, and then the date that, that person. Sunset, right. And in between those two dates, there is a dash. Don't you want your dash to just say amazing? That's what I would like.
Yeah, definitely.
You've heard people say, oh, so-and-so, here lies so-and-so. They lived a full life. That is exciting to me, to live a full life, to be the best person that you can be, the best version of yourself. And so we are just exploring ways that we can enhance, make our lives amazing. I think that's a great word.
If it's worth living, it's worth living well.
That's right. The thing is, we're here. And if we are here, it's no accident that we're here. God put us here for a reason. And you want to be able, at least I know, I want to be the best that I can be. We all have gifts. We all have talents. And we all have skills. And so today, I'm just going to bring 3 more ways that you can make that life powerful. Yes. All right. So the first one I want to talk about today, this is create your life number 6. Mm-hmm. All right. The first thing is, we all know that we should develop routines, success routines, and habits. That's great. That's fine. But don't neglect spontaneity. Spontaneity. I think I can say that word. To be spontaneous. If you're doing things rote, it makes it boring.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be bored. I mean, of course, it's something that you're passionate about. You probably never get bored, but still, if you continue in the same, in that routine, you want to kind of break off from that mold a little bit and do something spontaneous.
Well, it's very easy to settle into things that we know of and we're comfortable with. It's hard to explore new things, think outside the box, So it's a challenge to everybody, but it's a worthwhile challenge.
That's right.
It just brightens life up.
And that can be spontaneous in your relationships. Like I know sometimes when Roland and I are driving somewhere, we're on our way home, like in Richmond, that's not my home, and so it's taken me a while, and I'm still trying to learn it. But he's always finding a new route to go home, and so it's like, what? Do you know where he says? Do you know where you are? I said no. So spontaneity, or bring some flowers. It doesn't have to be for birthday or an anniversary. Just because.
Yeah, I got one. When you go to a restaurant, try something you haven't tried before.
That's right. When our children were younger,
I'll be right back.
We used to, when we would go out to eat and take them, we couldn't really decide on one restaurant because everybody likes something different. So we would often go to the like a buffet where there's variety, so that everybody can get something that they want. But okay, maybe I'm drifting a little bit, but again, spontaneity.
Yeah.
Try something new, something different. Do something new, something different. Sometimes you may not realize that the gift that you have or talent is in that very thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 2. Unplug periodically, or periodically unplug. What does that mean? We are living in the age of technology. Mm-hmm. I was at choir rehearsal last night, and sometimes even though you put your phone on silent, but it buzzes, it vibrates, and then you want to look. Well, who was that? No,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to do that well, I could probably suggest go camping, where you're actually using a tent, not a cabin. There are too many conveniences in a cabin. And if you have a family, take your families. Let them experience what it is to really be out in nature, where you're sleeping out there.
Frontier living.
Yeah, at least once in a while. I mean, you can be inconvenienced because, we are in the age of convenience. You just want to, if it's so hot, you just flip a switch and you have AC.
Well, camping can be nice if you do it right, if you know how to do it.
Right.
Even in a tent, you can get very comfortable out there if you bring the right things.
Right.
And, you don't have to bring your mattress from home and your bed and all that. But there are things that you can buy and you can bring with you, and you can actually be pretty comfortable. I know when we were doing the Pathfinders, we would try to get the kids to leave their cell phones and everything at home. That never worked.
Our oldest daughter, when she had gone camping, I guess she left her cell phone, and her daddy had taken her to meet with the group that were going camping. And when she realized she left her phone, she used her daddy's phone to call me. I was home. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's crying on the phone, and she's begging, "Mom, please, could you bring my cell phone?" And that was the whole point, to get them away from all the thumb action. And I was home in St. Thomas a few weeks ago, and my older sister Cynthia and I, we took our clothes to the laundromat. And so as we were folding them after they came out to dry, we heard there's some little children. They were playing these hand games, and I looked over, and it was the same games that many of us who are my age, in the 50s, but during the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, when people communicated with each other, when children formed community, they played and they had these hand action games. It was so refreshing. I recorded it, but I didn't want to put the camera on them. I was just trying to hear them sing and play. It was so heartwarming. So I asked the mother, she was also folding clothes. I said, "How is it that your kids are playing these games?" And she said, during Hurricane Irma and Maria, when the power had been knocked out for, I think it was almost a year. 9 months to a year in some places. The children who were accustomed to the thumb action, these Game Boys and those kinds of games, they didn't have it anymore. And they were like, "Okay, what do we do now? We're bored." So I guess grandparents and moms who played these games, they thought them back up, and taught them to the kids. And so the mom, I was amazed. She says, even though, yes, the power's back and things are getting back to normal, the children prefer to play those hand games more so than the electronic. They just leave those alone. So, batteries rusted or whatever. They prefer the engagement. It helps to form community. It helps to pass on traditions and customs, and it gets us away from being plugged in, all the time, and trends too.
Yeah.
Some of you may even have seen this in your own families. A whole family is in one room. The TV's going, but everyone is on their cell phone, or the thumbs are going, and they're communicating instead of just turning around and saying, "Hey, Roland, such and such." So it texted. Well,
Texting
not in
the room.
So that's kind of crazy, and I think it's because we've gotten away from those basic communication skills. Why people are no longer comfortable associating in a group or in a crowd, or be afraid to speak up or speak out about something. They want to hold it all to themselves. Anyway, this is just a thought that's going through my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning, Sipo. I'm sorry, we're just here talking. And good morning to you, Clifford. Thank you for joining us this morning. Charles, glad to see you again. Pamela, good morning. And I see, hold on. Okay, there we go. Doswell, good morning to you all. Thank you guys for watching. If there's anything that we're saying that does resonate with you, more than likely it will do the same for someone else. All right, and the third point that we wanted to bring was find ways to serve your community. You know, if you have extra time on your hands, maybe you can volunteer at a hospital. Maybe volunteer at, you know, a school, come and read to some students. Maybe volunteer your time doing something civically. You know, election time is going to be coming up. You know, they need people to be involved. And maybe you have a specialty or a gift or a talent. Perhaps you enjoy cooking and maybe you make certain specialty foods. Well, maybe thinking about opening up a restaurant, that might be a big undertaking, but you can start small. When we were home in St. Thomas, there were a number of like food trucks, you know, and then in New York, I know they have these vendors, these vending stations on the street. My dog, was it my dog, Rochelle? I think she said she went into DC and she tasted the best. I don't know what it was. It was a vending. Somebody had a food stand on the side of the road, and she said it was the best. I can't remember what she said it was, but you may have a specialty, some gift or talent that you can use to serve the community, and in turn, the community will then serve you. So it's kind of like vice versa. We need to be more willing to give, because we do have something, a special gift, a talent, a skill that we can share with somebody.
Yeah.
Yes. So those were the 3 tips that I have, or 3 thoughts for today. In terms, did you want to add something else?
No, no.
Okay. So I do have in the description a link to Spiritual Entrepreneur Goal Achievers, which is a group that I formulated to support others who are on their journey discovering their greatness and how they can develop it, and that's what we're here to do. And also I have a link to a website. My website is called reciesdomain.com, and I know one of the things that I love is storytelling. You know, as a teacher, I always enjoyed that, and writing stories. And one of the story, this is the first, and I'm working on book 2. This is Ian and Igor, Inquisitive Island Iguanas. Right? Yeah, I see. We are looking at something that's amazing. Somebody's trying to get our attention, and they're doing some things. You know how children do when they're trying to get your attention? Anyway, I'm going to tell you more about that. But I thank you so much for joining us today. Every day, either Roland or I, but I definitely come Monday through Friday and share something that can help you to create your amazing life. Thank you for joining us, and look for us tomorrow. And do something for you, do something for someone else. Enjoy your day.
Bye-bye.
And see you tomorrow. Bye.